Right now for contour, I'm not really sure how well it's doing for me. I need to add just a bit more, but adding a bit is so hard with this product. I'm sorry, but can you tell a difference? I don't know if I can. It's just me overthinking it. This side might feel a bit stickier. I could be wrong. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm gonna be doing something that I kind of came up with this week. I was going through my morning routine and I was noticing how comparable some of my Boxycharm makeup is to either my high-end makeup or some of my tried and true products that I always reach for. So I was like, wouldn't it be interesting to literally compare them side by side? So that's what we're gonna do today. I am going to do half of a face of Boxycharm and half of a face of either high-end makeup or my ultimate favorite makeup and see how they compare. If you are new to my channel, I hope you take a quick moment to hit that subscribe button down below to see all of the fun, loud, weird, unique videos I put out every week. So the first product I'm going to be starting with is the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. This is from Boxycharm and my number 7 Airbrush Away Pore Minimizing Primer. This is the most expensive primer I've ever paid for in a drugstore. I think this was like $14 or something crazy like that, and I was like, you better be amazing. So I'm gonna do this side of my face in Boxycharm makeup and this side in my favorites or high-end. Next, I'm gonna quickly apply some Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. This is the shade Soft Beige. And my ColourPop No Filter Concealer. This is in the shade Fair Neutral. So now I have my ColourPop No Filter Concealer on and I look amazing, right? And at this point in my makeup, what I would normally do is put on my NYX Sculpt and Highlight. I like to put this right up here in one streak. Just gonna go over it a little bit, and then I kind of add a little bit of depth back this way. And then I do usually both sides of my nose, but I'm just gonna go right here. So what I'm gonna be comparing that to is the Temp 2 bronzer. I am really not sure how this is gonna go, but I've always been curious, so let's find out. Yeah, I think this side's gonna be much more natural looking because it's thinner and lighter. Whereas this kind of leaves a bigger mark, so I have to work more with that product to achieve a more chiseled, natural look. Now I'm worried I worked this product too much and that it's too light. Right now for contour, I'm not really sure how well it's doing for me. I need to add just a bit more, but adding a bit is so hard with this product. To do this kind of work. This is so much work. It's Saturday. I need a break. So I've technically applied that twice and I still don't think it looks as good as the NYX. We'll see how this lays. Next, because I don't want to do too much movement with my face until I put some powders on, we're going to be doing a little combo here of my favorite highlight and contour palette by IBY. We've got some light shades up here for the powders, some contour shades down here to go over this. And my new favorite lately has been my Tarte Park Avenue Princess palette. So this has some amazing shades in it for powders as well, a little less. It's only got 2. And then these great shades to kind of go over the contour. So let's find out. I'm gonna take my Fluffy Moda Pro brush and I'm gonna come over here into light 2 and highlight 1. I'm gonna do this. Come over here into Halo and Enhance. I'm gonna go right under the eye. I'm going to go in with my IBY palette here and I'm going to go in with the contour. Go right here. I'm in here into my Tarte palette. I like going right now between Princess Cut and Angle. I love the smell of this. Why do I love the smell of this? On my nose. I need to do this to the other side too. I forgot. I'm gonna work that up. Oh, right now I really, really like how this is applying so much more. Could be how I applied things. I always say it could be me when I'm noticing differences in comparison videos. But this side, you know I don't talk crap about my IBY palette. You know I love that. That was like one of my ultimate favorites. It's kind of patchy in comparison to the Tarte. I don't know if it's coming across on camera or not. It's hard to tell in my viewfinder, but I'm like, I feel like I have to keep doing this to kind of achieve the smoothness of what I'm seeing over here. Kind of shocked. So what I also like to do is also just pop on a little bit of Coty Airspun just to kind of set it. Now I'm gonna move on to the item that made me think of this whole video, because you guys know I love my Winky Lux. It got so many great mentions from me at the end of the year in 2017 about my faves with Boxycharm. I was recently gifted this, and I just talked about this in a video. This is my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer. I got this from my dear blogging friend, The Regular Girl Reviews, because she wanted me to try it. And I'm pretty sure these are super duper comparable. And by comparable, I mean ridiculously comparable. So right now, physically, obviously they look the same. But the fact that they both have the triangular tips to really work in the eyebrows is kind of what's the game changer, and I think the shade. But I've never worn them side by side. So let's find out. Now we're gonna come over here to the Anastasia. This is in the shade Dark Brown. I'm sorry, but can you tell a difference? I don't know if I can. I really don't know if I can tell the difference between these two. Like, I think they're the same tone, same shade. I am not mad at this. I'm interested to see how they wear, but this is the exact reason I wanted to do this video, because I was so curious about these two side by side. All right, so now let's look at some bronzers. We know I love my butter bronzer from Physicians Formula, basically based on the fact that you see pretty much all pan and I'm gonna need a new one soon. We got a bronzer from Pure from Boxycharm. It's a little bit warmer, this one's a bit cooler, but I am curious how these do and how they differ in lasting abilities as well. So let's find out. So I'm gonna go now between two different blushes. The blush over here that I'm gonna be wearing for Boxycharm is the Studio Makeup Blush and the e.l.f. Candid Coral Blush. These are kind of similar in shade and tone, so I wanted to compare these two. Definitely have to do more layers of the e.l.f. to achieve the really, really pigmented Studio Makeup Blush. But again, kind of like my butter bronzer, I kind of like that because I have more control and I'm not a huge blush girl, so I don't ever want it to be too much blush. Now for highlighters, this is gonna be interesting. I have my MAC Soft and Gentle over here for my tried and true high-end side. And then over here, I have a shade that's pretty close-ish, and it is my Jessica Labiskin highlighter, the Rose Quartz shade. So they're kind of close, and they both have this nice sheen shimmer to them, so I kind of want to see how they compare. Next, I'm going to be going in with the product that I kind of hated from Boxycharm, but I said I was going to give a second chance to, and it is the DLS Eyeshadow Crayon. I'm going to be using this as a base because I love my MAC Painterly Pro Longwear Paint Pot. I have pretty much the exact same tone, shade, and just like a light pink shimmer that's going to go on the lid to be the base for the rest of my future eye look. So, you know, kind of makes sense to try these against each other. This over here is the DSL, this over here is the MAC, very similar in shades, and they're both tacky and kind of like ready to put on my eye look. Before I go on to my final eye look and then do a wear test for you, I actually have one more product to test. And I don't know if many of you were with Boxycharm to get this, but this is the Ofra Oil Control Pressed Powder. This is something that I like to apply since I have oily skin, and I know I have some dry skin friends, so don't worry, you could either just use a regular powder or skip this step altogether. I like to use this as a finishing powder, so I just kind of gonna apply it to all over my face on the Boxycharm side, just to try to control the oils for the day. And the other product that I'm gonna be comparing it to is my Essence All About Matte Fixing Compact Powder. It's essentially the same thing. It's supposed to like finish and combine the blushes, the bronzers, everything together and give a good matte look as a setting powder. Start with the Ofra with a big fluffy brush. And now I'm gonna go in with my Essence on the other side. Now I'm gonna do my eye look and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I have all of my eye makeup on. I've got some lippies on, and if you're curious about this eye look, stay tuned for an upcoming video. But I have to say, I mean, as I was applying everything and I could check out my face, guys, this is super comparable. Now, I started this video, I don't know, maybe an hour ago, maybe a little longer. It's 11:34 right now, so I'm gonna do some check-ins with you guys and let you know how each side of my face is faring, but there's one more step to go. So, we have some setting sprays. I need to complete my face. So, this is the Spray Set Go, which we all know I'm more partial to using this for my brushes because this is a really intense spray, really intense. And this is my Max Fix Plus because, well, we gotta be bougie and use the OG of all setting sprays to compare it to. It's so intense. Whew. I think I may have applied too much of the e.l.f. blush trying to compete with the Studio Makeup blush. I'm not sure yet because the blush on this side is looking a bit more intense than this side. This side's more subtle right now because I was trying to do two different types of blush. There was a pan and then there's the loose. I wish that wasn't loose powder. Okay, so now that I've set my face, I'm going to be doing some day-long wear check-ins with you guys and letting you know how each side of this wears. Boxycharm side versus the high-end or tried and true makeup side. We'll find out. Hey guys, it has been about 2.5-ish hours now, and I am really impressed so far. I mean, I don't notice much makeup budging, much makeup moving. I can tell you when I was applying my eyeshadow after priming my eyes, everything went on pretty much the same. It's kind of crazy. I'm gonna zoom in so you can see my face just a little bit closer. So this side feels a bit warmer than this side. In my mind, in person, I don't know if it's translating on camera the same. My NYX sculpting really lasts and holds on to that contoured, chiseled look, whereas the Temp 2, it still looks good and it's more subtle, but it doesn't, I mean, look at the difference. I can clearly see a difference in my viewfinder. It just straight on, I don't know, like this is much more bold and I used less product, whereas this I put on twice. I don't know, like it looks good. And also going down my nose on this side, the contour really looks more refined and smooth, whereas this one's just kind of like more faded, I guess, but not bad. I mean, it's not bad. It's just in comparing these, this is what I'm noticing. Maybe in some ways I do like this side a bit better because it is more of a natural feel, whereas this is definitely more dramatic for filming days and photos and things like that. As far as lasting on my face and stickiness, like I think the powders, I'm doing a feel test. I don't know if it's just me overthinking it. This side might feel a bit stickier. I could be wrong. Guess we'll figure it out as the day progresses. The bronzer situation looks really good. Like on the forehead here where I warmed up each side with different products, these are looking super comparable. This looks really good so far, and I will do another check-in in just a little bit. Hey guys, we are at about the 4.5 hour mark, and I just had Adam kind of like inspect each side of my face. And I said, excluding the eyes, what do you notice? And he said, this side looks a lot more cakey in person than this side, and that's really the only thing he can notice. And what I'm thinking on this side is it might be the Temp 2. I'm not really sure because he kept looking right in this area, and that's kind of where this is. And the Pure Bronzer. So, Adam also mentioned the color differences that he noticed as far as like the bronzers and the contour goes. This side definitely appears darker. It could be shade wise. I'm gonna do some quick swatching really quick. So this is the NYX. I'm not a huge fan of the squeezy part. I think that's why I just only prefer this for foundations. It's so liquidy and messy. Temp 2 bronzer, which is on this side, that really has blended well. That's the word he used, was that this looks more blended. This is the NYX, and this is, I noticed this formula is far more concentrated. So like, I feel like I have to move quickly to blend it, but I usually like the end result. Like, I don't mind that this is much more bold than this side, but this side is probably a bit more natural. But if you do look at the color differences and the consistency differences, it's kind of a big deal. Like, this is much more structured, this is much more firm, and it's already like hardly going anywhere. Whereas this, super loose, a much cooler tone, this is warmer, and it kind of, I mean, this does blend in well with the skin. I think it just feels pretty messy and a lot more wet, but it's easier to work with when you don't have to move too quickly. Whereas this, which is the top one, you have to move much quicker. So, pros and cons there, and definitely noticing a difference as far as these two pieces go. Eyebrows are still looking pretty much the exact same. They're both feeling like it's not, either side's not too tacky or sticky, so I feel like the powders are doing their jobs. So we'll do another check-in in just a little bit. Hey guys, so it is about 7.5-ish hours since original application, and I'm thinking the contours really wore down to look really even. I'm gonna zoom you in a bit. So on this side, it is the Boxycharm Temp 2, and over here is the NYX Sculpt. Earlier in the day, I was like, this kind of looks a lot more intense and dramatic, and over here, it was more subtle, but it could also have been a color difference because they're not the same, and the consistency is definitely different. But right now, I don't know, you guys tell me, I think they look super similar. However, for highlighter, like, I'm just kind of like underwhelmed by both highlighters right now, to be perfectly honest, but I've been really all about the highlighter lately, especially for like the tops of the cheekbones. And this is obviously more of the pinky subtle tone. This one in the Jessica Libiskin's right up here. And then over here was the MAC Soft and Gentle. I mean, I could still see like that nice sheen, but like nothing like bam, bam. Guys, I think we found a dupe for the eyebrows. For the Anastasia Beverly Hills, I mean, I think Winky Lux is a dupe for the dark brown, in my opinion, but I also apply it a specific way. But I mean, I can say though, my chin feels super tacky. So I don't know if it's just kind of like that's where the product kind of married with the powders and whatnot. But I mean, it looks, I mean, end of day wear so far is looking really good. I might do one more check-in by end of day just to kind of see how it's all going.
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to the people on YouTube. Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi to all our new friends on YouTube.
Hi to all our new friends on YouTube.
This is my husband, Adam. He's not normally, there you go, hi, yeah. It is about 9.5 hours after initial application, and I am seeing some differences, but a lot of similarities. So let's zoom in so we can take a look. So I feel like in person, and you can kind of see it on camera, this side here is shinier than this side. Again, I have oily skin, and we used two different kinds, let's get it on the right side, two different kinds of oil control powder. I'm kind of shocked that I don't think the Ofra did as well as the Essence All About Matte. Because right in this general area, I'm seeing shiny on both sides, to be honest. But it's more like when I touch it over here, this whole side feels stickier and just more like dewy, oily, to be honest. And this side, I feel it, but not nearly as much. So I really think the Essence may have done better than the Ofra, which I'm kind of shocked by, because last summer I used this a ton. So as summer progresses, I may do another test with these two. But let's take a look at the brows. Brows look the freaking same. Guys, we may have a cheaper dupe for an Anastasia Beverly Hills pencil. That's crazy. I think they look same shade, same wear. I mean, I am a bit of a face toucher, so the fact that, I mean, who touches their brows though? This is like, let's just see. Pretty good, guys. Like, I'm really impressed with the brows. As far as like bronzers and contour go, I think they wore down to look the exact same. I think this side was a bit more intense today, but it wore down. But I also think it has to be the NYX that's doing that, because the consistency, you have to work quickly with this and not mess around on all over your face. But I still really like this. I like to apply this better than this, because this is so messy. I prefer to put this in with my foundations rather than line it out and everything. I don't know. I mean, it's all subjective, but I'm still really impressed with how well this wore as well. So I'm just so shocked. As far as highlighters go, I still think, both did well, that there's like a sheen left, but I think I don't know if MAC did as well. What do you guys think? This is the MAC side. This is the Jessica Labiskin from Boxycharm. It's that hard that I can't answer it right off the top of my head right now. So that tells you something about the makeup we get from Boxycharm, right? This is the Studio Makeup blush. This is the e.l.f. blush. Super duper comparable, even in person. I actually, when I was asking Adam what was different about my face, he couldn't really tell much. So guys, we get such quality makeup from Boxycharm. It's kind of crazy. As far as application goes for my contour powders, between these two palettes, I was really shocked at how much easier this was to use than my IBY. And you guys know, I ride or die with this. I have hit so much pan on this, it's kind of crazy. So the fact that I am now telling you this applied better than this, at least in initial application, that's crazy. And the wear, I mean, clearly it's done well for both. Both of these have worn well. But applying, this was much easier and much more buttery. I'm shocked. Okay, and for setting sprays, I have to tell you, I also think the stickiness has to do with the final thing we put on our faces. And I'm sorry, the Spray Set Go is not my favorite. I only like to use this for brushes. MAC clearly does well on the face. It gets all of the makeup just melted into one skin. This, for me, so much better than this. Real talk, real talk. This is good for brushes, but it's kind of the extent of it. And as far as my eye makeup goes, it has lasted really well. I don't see any creasing on either side. I think the Dirty Little Secrets crayon did pretty well compared to the MAC. So I mean, what a great dupe for just priming your eyes, you know? Overall, I'm really impressed with how my face ended at the end of the day, because we're talking Boxycharm makeup versus high-end or fan favorites, and my favorites. So tell me what your thoughts are on everything we've talked about down below. Let me know your thoughts. I'm interested to see. I can't believe how well this all wore all day long. Bye, friends! Hey guys, so it is about 9:30. Oh look, it's the Cooper Show. It's the Soupy Cooper Show. Say hi, friends.